Okay, so I want to go over the parts of an argumentative essay. So what is an argument? Well, an argument is the position that you're going to take on a topic or issue, and you're going to support it with facts. So to write an argumentative essay, you're going to pick a topic that is debatable. People can take different sides. Your argument is going to be a statement of the position or side that you're taking. You're then going to develop the argument with claims. Okay, the claims are going to be the reasons that this argument is true, and they're going to be supported with evidence. So I want you to think about a multi-paragraph essay. In the first paragraph, you're going to state your argument. That's going to be your thesis. It's your position. And then each body paragraph will be a claim. It's going to be a reason that that argument is true. You'll make your claim in your topic sentence, and then you'll use evidence and logical explanations of that evidence to develop that reason, that claim in that paragraph. So again, the claims are the reasons that the argument should be considered as valid. Evidence to prove this claim can include reasons, personal experience, confirmed facts, expert research, statistics, etc. So again, your argument will be stated in your thesis. It's going to state your position, and you look at the topic, you decide on your position, you come up with your reasons, and that's going to form your argument. So we want to see these pieces in your thesis statement. It's only going to be one sentence in length, and that's what we always tell you with thesis statements. Where is it going to be? Same place you always put your thesis statement, the last sentence of the introduction. Don't say I think, I believe, my opinion, or you. Just state your position as though it's fact. So let me show you how this works. Okay, so here are a couple of examples. Uniforms should be required in public schools because they set a school environment that is better for learning and can improve student performance. So I want you to think for a moment, what's the topic? School uniforms, right? And whether or not they should be required in public schools. Okay, what's this author's position on the topic? That they should be required in public schools. What are the reasons that this author is going to develop in the body paragraphs? They set a school environment that's better for learning. That's one reason. They improve student performance. That's the second reason that this author is going to develop in the body paragraphs. Let's look at another example. High school graduates should be required to take a year off to pursue community service projects before entering college in order to increase their maturity and global awareness. So, what's the topic? Okay, it's whether or not high school graduates should take a year off to do community service projects. What's this author's position? That they should be required. What are a couple of reasons that this author is going to develop in the rest of the essay? It increases maturity and global awareness. Right? So there are two body paragraphs in this particular argumentative essay. You have to have evidence supporting the claim, and that evidence needs to be from reliable sources. And you can see that in all of the body paragraphs. When I look through the body paragraphs, I should see names of experts, people, organizations, associations, where this some credible information to support your claims comes from. I should see numbers like statistics, dates, etc. I should see some quotes of experts. I should see quotes of worthy information. I should hopefully see things like research, study, survey. When I incorporate my information, I want to make sure that I convince my reader that my sources are credible and are worthy. So to do that, I need to provide some information about them. So if I can say who said it, Let's say there's an expert quoted in an article. I would definitely give the name of that expert and any credentials that he or she has that have been provided. Is this a scientist from Harvard, for instance? If I can provide the person's job title, that's great, right? To say someone is a director of something shows that that person will be an expert in that subject. If you're pulling something from an article or news story, we definitely want to provide the title of it and the author if we have the author. And if you can find any information on the author that makes him or her sound more credible, then do it. A quick Google search of the author's name can sometimes provide some really helpful information. Additionally, sometimes that information is right there on the web page. Again, you might not be able to find this information, but this is something to look for. You want to, again, convince your reader that you have really credible sources and that what he or she says should be taken into consideration because this person's coming from a place of education on the subject. You might want to provide the name of the publication or the news organization. If you've got an article and it's from a really reputable news organization, to state that it came from that news organization is, again, going to make it sound better. If the author is the expert, again, make sure you give the author's name of the article and publication. If the expert is quoted within an author's work, then you need to give that author credit, but you definitely still want to bring up the name of the expert and maybe what some of his or her credentials or position might be. If you mention the same source more than once in the essay, you can use just the person's last name and shorten the information. You don't need to give us all of the information all over again as far as as far as the source is concerned. As long as the reader can still understand the source of the evidence, you're fine. You don't need to state it all over again. Now, you're going to provide evidence, but you can't just drop some statistics in somebody's lap. It's your job to inform the reader as to how you want him or her to think about the information. You've got to explain your evidence and connect it to the claim in the paragraph. Ask yourself the question, so what, after putting some source information into a paragraph? What's the point of it? Why are you providing the reader with that specific piece of evidence? You have to lead him or her to the logical conclusions that he or she should draw from that evidence. Here's a fact. Explain to the reader how that fact supports the claim. What conclusion should he or she draw from it? Don't just assume he or she will know why it's there. Explain why or how the evidence supports the claim. You're also going to have a counterclaim and rebuttal paragraph. So you have to bring up an opposing claim. So you want to think about the other side of the argument. What are some of the claims that he or she might make? So think about what are some reasons that he or she might bring up as to why that argument is valid and worthy of consideration. But then you're going to offer a rebuttal. And a rebuttal is going to make the counterclaim, the claim on the other side, seem less important, less valid, or even untrue. So you're going to take an opposing claim. It's going to disagree with your argument. It tells the reader about the other side of the argument. It's a specific reason that the other side of the argument could be true. So be careful. Don't just give me the other side of the argument. You already know your whole essay is refuting that other side. You need to get specific. What's a specific reason someone on the other side is going to give to support his or her argument? So you're going to take that. That's the counterclaim. And then you're going to offer a rebuttal. And a rebuttal it's really another claim, but its purpose is to refute the specific claim on the other side. It's going to explain why the opposing claim is wrong, and it's going to support your position. And then you're going to end with a conclusion where you're going to restate your argument. You're going to end with general information that will sum up the essay, but you're going to use new language. Remember, don't use the same words. Say it in a different way. Excuse me. And as always, you want to end your conclusions with a so what. What do you want your reader to do as a result of reading your essay? What do you want him or her to believe or literally go do as a result of your essay?